Welcome back, welcome. Okay, no.
Hey everyone, it's Monique Renewed. Welcome back for another video. So today's video is going to be a story time. Yay! And I have my cup of tea. This is a Yogi detox tea, and I drink this with almond milk, not water. I put a dash of cinnamon, honey, a little bit of coconut creamer, a little bit of sugar, and it is so good. Oh my gosh. It's like a nice substitute for coffee. I tried drinking this. You know how some teas, they don't taste right with lemon juice because it's more like a chai tea type of thing going on? Yeah, I tried this with lemon juice and it was like, no. So I tried it with what I would usually make chai tea with, and it was bomb.com. So anyways, as you can see by this title, this story time is about the time that God had literally saved me and my mother's life. So let me explain. Just to give some background, this happened when I was a child. I was about maybe 9 or 10 years old. Me and my mother were living in an apartment. And the layout of the apartment is like a circular layout when you walk inside the building. Okay, so let me give you a description so you can use your imagination. So you walked inside of a locked door. The door is locked. It's like a clear glass door, and you need the key to get in. You walk up this one set of steps that go up the steps, and there's about 5 apartments up the steps, and the apartments are arranged in a semicircle, a half circle. So it's one apartment here, one apartment here, one apartment here, one apartment here, one apartment here. And we lived at the one on the far right, the very far right one. So I'm about 9 or 10 years old, and you know, my mom's a single mom. She's working. She typically comes home around like maybe 5 or 6. So I come home from school, whatever. I'm usually by myself in the house, and I know normally what time my mother gets home, which is about, you know, like I said, she probably got off at like 5 o'clock, so maybe like around, you know, it doesn't take her that long to get home. So boom. I used to watch story times a lot, and I love it when it was certain people that I used to watch, and they'd be like, so boom. Anyways, so I'm by myself in the apartment, right? And it's getting dark. And I'm like,
Where's my mother?
you know, the typical routine is that she comes home before dusk, before the sun sets. And it's getting dark outside. And at this point, I'm kind of panicking. I'm like, okay, something ain't right. I have no number to call. I was young, so, and this was like back in the day where, you know, it was typically okay to leave your kid in the house by themselves. And I had no number to call. I didn't know how to access her. She probably didn't even have a cell phone back then. No, she didn't have no cell. This wasn't the age of cell phones, so she didn't have no cell phone. wouldn't even know how to call her anyways, or contact her, especially if she was already on the road. How was I going to reach her? Wow. Now that I look about it, I really thank God for the technology of cell phones, because you could literally reach anyone at any time. Back in the day, oh no, we had to use pay phones, okay? So I'm like, at this point I'm panicking. So I'm like, where is my mom? So little old me, I am standing in front of the door, in front of our apartment door. I don't know what came over me. So I'm standing there. I'm literally waiting for her to come. And I'm like, okay, is she about to come through this door any second? I'm looking out the window. I don't see her. So I'm standing there, right, for a few minutes. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm about to open this door and go look to see where she's at, because I'm like, did something happen to her? You know, did something go wrong? It's not like I had somebody to tell me, okay, your mom is this place, you know, she'll be back soon. No, I was there by myself. So obviously I'm going to panic. I'm a little child. I'm standing at the door, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to open this door. And something says, do not open the door. I know it wasn't me because I was getting ready to open it. But something kept telling me, do not open that door. And I'm standing in front of the door for several minutes, contemplating whether or not to open this door. So I heard the voice that said, do not open that door. Do not open the door. So I said, okay. I just stood there. I just stood there, literally like waiting for her any second to come through the door, just waiting. And then lo and behold, she busts open the door, bombards through the door, and she's in a panic. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, what happened? What's going on? Why are you late? Like, what happened to you? She's like, I never seen my mother like this. She was so scared and terrified, and she shuts the door and she's looking through the little peephole, and she looks at me and she was like, you didn't hear me screaming this whole time? And I was like, no, I didn't hear you screaming. What are you talking about? I was standing here this whole time waiting for you to come home. How, like, if I would have heard you, I would have opened the door. Like, I didn't hear you. And she was like, this is what happened. She says that a man came up behind her as she was entering the building. Mind you, like I said earlier, the door, the entrance door is locked with the key. It's not like some apartments, you know, you could just walk in, walk out. No, you need a key to come in. This man, I don't know, somehow followed her home, came up behind her with a knife, gets into the apartment building with her, and tells her, open up your apartment. Open up the door to your apartment. And my mom was like, she knew I was inside, so she figured that the guy didn't know exactly where we lived. So she starts banging on the apartment door of another apartment of another door that wasn't ours. So she's screaming, help me, help me. And she starts banging on the door of somebody else's apartment to see if somebody can help her. And, you know, nobody opens the door. Apparently nobody's home. And the guy, you know, with the knife is like,
no, you don't live over there, you live over here.
And he points at the door where she lives. And she's like, she doesn't know this man. So she's like, how in the world does this man know where I live? And, you know, she's screaming, help me, help me. And she's refusing. She's refusing to open the door. She doesn't open the door because she knows obviously I'm inside. So she, you know, in her mind, she's like, okay, I'm not going to open this door. My daughter's in there and I'm not going to risk both of our lives. So, oh well, what now? So she's like, no, I'm not opening the door. It gives me chills talking about this, but eventually he leaves. Eventually he left. Because she wasn't backing down. She was like, I'm not opening this door. She's banging on other people's door that's not her own, and somehow the guy knew exactly which apartment she lived in. And he left. He just left. And then she came through the house, panicked, and I'm like, I was so shocked. I was like, wow. It's like, I was waiting for you any moment to come home and you just bust through the door. And she's like, how did you not hear me screaming? And I said, I promise you, I was standing here this whole time and I did not hear not one sound. Except for the voice that told me to not open the door. Y'all, I think about this all the time. She thinks it's not somebody that she knew, but somebody, like it was an organized type of situation. I don't know who that guy was. I don't know to this very day who it was. She has her suspicions that this guy was somehow sent by somebody else that she knew, because she's like, how would this guy know where I live? Obviously, it's somebody that she knows that sent this guy over. Y'all, I don't know. This is still an unsolved mystery to this very day. And I still think about this story to this very day because I'm like, wow, that was literally God telling me not to open the door. Not only that, but he prevented me from hearing my mother screaming in front of our door because he knew had I heard her, I would have opened it. So how could it be possible that I was standing right there and she was apparently screaming at the top of her lungs for somebody to help her, but I couldn't hear her? The walls are not that dense. You can, especially in an apartment, it echoes. So if somebody screams, you can hear. So I'm like, I think about this story very often. I'm just like, wow, that was literally God. Even when I did not know God as a kid, he was still speaking to me then. And he literally saved our lives. Because had I heard her screaming, I would have opened the door. He would have gotten the house and he had a knife. Would he have killed both of us? At least tried to kill both of us? I don't know. And I quite frankly don't want to know. Yeah, so that story just makes me think, well, as I grew up, I understood that was the Lord helping me and protecting us. Being able to hear God's voice at such a young age, it is like, wow, you don't even realize it. So it makes me think, how many other people out there have experiences like that when they were younger, when they didn't realize it was really God that was helping them out. And as they grew older, they realized, oh, that was God. That was a miracle. That was only God. So I want you to contemplate on your life and see if you have one of those situations like that. Like when you really deeply think about it, you think, maybe that was God. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have those type of stories. I would love to read about it. Leave it down below. So yeah, that was a short story time. And yeah, he literally saved our lives. And I was like 9. You know, heeding to the voice of God at that point in my life literally saved my life and my mother's life. So yeah, that's it, you guys. That's all for today's video. Join the fam if you would like, and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your post notification bell so you know when I upload a video, and give it a thumbs up if you like this video. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.